Okay, I was saying how the name Joyce has a value of 58, so the letters in the alphabet J-O-Y-C-E, if you add them up according to their place in the alphabet, giving them that value, so J is 10, O is 15, Joyce is 58, has the same value as Nathan, and 58 is the number of days between Wednesday the 10th of January 2018, which is yesterday, from where I am in Australia, or it's today if you're in America. 58 days lands you on Friday the 9th of March 2018, and that's when I think Cyclone Riley is going to be. And I don't know if the disaster that's just unfolded in California, if you'd say it happened on the 9th or the 10th, but most likely the 10th, I think, because it's very late on the 10th. Well, it's getting late on the 10th now. It probably happened on the night of the 9th going into the 10th, so it'd be the morning of the 10th that these shots are from in this video. So this does point to a reflection involving disasters, if you ask me, and I think this should put people in Australia on alert to just keep an eye on the date, Friday 9th of March 2018, and maybe in relation to Tropical Cyclone Riley.
Heavy rainfall has led to deadly mudslides in Southern California. CNN's Paul Verkerman caught up with Charlotte Mortlock on Sky News earlier.
If you look behind me, this is where this torrent roared through, knocking houses off their foundation. And then you see in the distance, we've got boulders and we've got fence, we've got power poles, also trees, parts of houses, all mingled together. Just right there in that debris pile, a search and rescue crew went through in what they call a secondary search. Unfortunately, that translates to a more grim search, because that primary search is when they still think that there might be live bodies in there. But when you have a secondary search, unfortunately, you're looking for people who might have been killed. And you can see on a rock, in fact, there's an orange mark. And that's to indicate to anybody else that, yes, we've combed through this and we didn't find anyone in here. The problem is it is really thick and deep, and this goes on forever. And if you've got some time, just let me know. I can show you a little bit more, give you a sense for the enormity of this disaster. Yes, 15 dead, but we have 24 missing, and that spells possibly a much higher death toll. They say 20-something injured, but look at this. You've got work crews feverishly trying to restore water and power, and yet another area of devastation. A house completely knocked off its foundation right here. And then in the distance, you see that car in that strange position. They mark that with orange spray paint as well to show it's been looked over, that they found no one inside. But I will show you right now why this has been so devastating. If you look up into those mountains right there, that's where the Thomas Fire, the largest fire in California history, burned those mountainsides. This is not a low-rolling coastal plain. This is a rare situation where it goes from 3,000 feet to sea level in just a matter of miles. So when rain spawned in a circle over these mountains the other day and hung up there, it pushed all of those stripped hillsides that had no vegetation whatsoever left to stop it because of the fire. It had that come roaring down all the way to where we are. We're only about, I would say, a mile and change from the ocean. And this is the result. One devastating, heartbreaking wildfire here in Montecito, California.
And that story also goes to the heart of why I'm not a climate change denier, and also why I don't have much time for people who are. Because I think you've got to be pretty heartless to ignore the victims of climate change today. It's becoming very hard to not see a connection between a lot of the extreme weather events that are happening and the people that are being traumatized and killed, and what's happening with global warming. And you do have to be pretty heartless to just say, no, it's not an issue. You do. You may not think it's heartless, but it is heartless. And yeah, so that includes some of the conservative so-called Christians on the conservative side of politics in Australia who rubbish climate change and just label it as an international scam or conspiracy. They've been doing it for almost 10 years now, and I think it's time to stop being so bloody ignorant and wake up to the fact that there is a problem, and a very serious problem. And yeah, that's what I'm thinking. There's a reflection here. This is not science, this is not meteorology, this is synchronicity. But it's a slap in the face to some of the religious people who are being extraordinarily selfish in their attitude. And Nathan was a boy who died in the Black Saturday bushfires, and I think it's fitting that his name might actually be the number of days between two tragic dates.